Okay, great. Live on YouTube, live on Instagram. Hi everyone, welcome to Trainify.tv. My name is Peter. If you haven't done sessions with me before, we're going to do a live Pilates 25. So for today, all you're going to need is your mat again. And just before we get started, I'd like to thank Trainify as ever for sponsoring this workout. Trainify, where you'll find expert teachers like myself in Pilates, in yoga, in distance training, all that good stuff. Go to their YouTube channel, subscribe, like, comment, and you get £20 worth of free training credit. And you can also get access to videos like this 6 days a week, and a lot of it's live. So for today, as I say, just using your mat, we're going to get started onto your back. So with the session, as you're lying down, just come down onto your back, have your feet at about hip width distance apart, and we're going to start off with a chest lift. So we're going to get into working the core and abdominals straight away. So your feet are about hip width distance apart. Interlock your fingers and then just place your hands behind your head. So elbows pointing up to the ceiling, head really heavy resting down into your hands. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, start to curve your ribs going forward over your abdomen. Your head picks up and you look between your knees. Deep breath in at the top. Head is supported throughout. Exhale. Roll your spine down. Lower your hands to touch the mat. Breathe in. And we're going to do 4 more like that. So with the movement, I want you to really feel that you're creating that curving round of your ribs. If you're getting that nice bit of a shake through the midsection, again, it's a really good sign. And as you're doing the movement, if you're not so familiar to this and you haven't done so much Pilates, a good way of maybe relaxing your neck muscles and taking a little bit of the tension away from that section of the body and your jaw as well would be just to really loosen your jaw and relax your tongue in your mouth as much as possible, even to the point where your tongue is just dropping down to the roof of your mouth. But like myself, you should see that you're still able to do the movement and talk and breathe and all that stuff. Good. So midsection definitely warmed up with that. Now you're going to bring your hands onto the mat, just a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. And then just with your heels, walk them a little bit closer to your bum. So we're going to go into bridging now. So press down through the heel of both foot, and then just create a tuck of your tailbone between your legs. Raise your hips up to the highest point that you can. Breathe in, and then breathe out, rolling your spine so that you spread it and gently press it down section by section into the mat. Let's do about 4 more. Coming up. Roll back down. And the whole time that you're doing it, really feel like you're standing into your feet. Legs vertical. And we're bringing in a nice bit of mobility through our spine and in our hips as well. Good. And then just on the last one, as you bring yourself up, you're going to hold this position. Good. So stay up in that bridge. And we're going to see if we can transition this with the exercise that you were just doing. So your arms go directly above your chest again. And just keep that weight through your heels. Really sending your knees forward, your hips stay high. Can you bring your hands to interlock behind your head? Elbows point up to the ceiling. Deep breath in. And then this time as you roll down through the bridge, I want you to start curling up into the chest lift at the same time. Breathe in at the top, breathe out, roll back down with your upper body and your head. Press through your heels, lift your hips up, bridge. And we continue to do that combo. Roll down from the bridge, curl up into a chest lift. Roll down through the chest lift, press through your heels and send your hips up into a bridge. Good, 3 more. Good. This time as you drop down out of the bridge and then curl up into that chest lift, stay here. Breathe into the back and the sides of your ribs. Breathe out, curve forward a little bit deeper. Can you bring your hands behind your thighs, elbows wide as you hold this shape and stay up? Maybe can you bring your right leg to tabletop? Maybe can you bring your left leg to tabletop? Curve up that little bit deeper. Hold this position. Drop the feet down. If you feel your hips are maybe a little bit tight, and just hold this. Maybe trying to get more of a stretch along the upper back. Abdominals should be burning pretty much right now. Take a few deep breaths, but also with that activation, we should feel nicely stretched through the back line of the body. Your feet come down, lower your body back down onto the mat. Really nice. Okay, so from that, I'm going to get you to come up and sit into a roll down. Just hold this shape. So arms nicely lengthened, reaching with your fingers. At the minute, your ankles are flexed and your toes are pointing up. Really feel like your head is sitting high. Take a deep breath in. Now as you breathe out, you're going to tuck your tailbone between your legs. Your lower back starts to roll away from your legs. And then as your legs start to move in towards you, point your toes away as you continue to roll all the way back down. Your head touches the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lead with your arms and your hands. Curve your ribs round as you bring yourself back up to seated. Take a deep breath in. We continue. Exhale. Tailbone tucks as you roll away. Point the toes as you do that. And try and keep the legs lengthened, but obviously if you need to bend your knees, please do so. Head touches the mat. Breathe in. Reach the arms forward. Curve the ribs forward. Think of when you were doing a chest lift to start the session. Hold at the top. And then last one. And then exhale. Curve. Keep the legs long and in contact with the mat if you can. Bring yourself back up to where we started. Lovely. Okay, so with that, still working the midsection, but we're going into a lot of flexion through the spine. Now we're going to complement that by taking it into some spine extension. So we're going to go into what's called a scarecrow exercise. So come down onto your chest, just like so. And just have your legs lengthened away, your toes are pointing out. And if you feel there's a little bit of a cramp into your feet with this one, totally normal, especially if you've been in footwear for most of your day. So a little bit of muscular confusion through your feet tends to be fine and it will pass. Now, just bring your fingers onto your hip bones and send your fingers down into the mat as much as possible. And really press the hip bones into the mat as well. So we've got a little bit of a squeeze with your hip bones into your fingers and therefore into the mat. And then in between the hip bones and is the pelvis that we press that down also. Now you should feel the glute muscles, your bum muscles, the back of the legs, the hamstrings, and our back muscles as well. All those areas working. Now, bring your arms by your waist, or sorry, in line with your shoulders, and just still have the back of the neck lengthened so your nose is lifted a good bit away from the mat. And all you're going to do is just hang out here. So it's more comfortable. Take your elbows wider, or maybe higher, lower. Just find out where kind of settles your shoulders and around your back. So nose is lifted away, but the back of the neck stays lengthened. You're going to feel those train track muscles at the back of your spine working, and then exhale, lower your chest, still with the nose hovering. Press down through the forearms and the hands, lift your chest up. We're not going to get that much of a range with this one, so don't feel like you have to force it. Push down again, and then again, exhale low. Let's go for about 2 more. So really good to work those postural muscles, those anti-gravity muscles of your back, of your shoulders, and around the back of your hips and the back of your legs. So this time we're going to come up and hold. Keep the back of the neck lengthened, keep your chest lifted, your bottom part of your rib cage, the pelvis and the hip bones should still be pressing into the floor. Can you float your right arm up so it comes up to shoulder level? Lower that arm down. Can you float the left arm up? Lower that one down. Keep alternating from one side to the other here. Good. Good. Keep going. Take a reset, take a rest at any point if you need. This time as you bring the right arm up, hold it. Can you bring the left arm up? Also, stay this position. Option to maybe extend your arms out into a Y. You should be feeling your waist, your shoulders, your back. Back of the neck remains lengthened, and then lower your body down from there. Good. Take your head to one side, maybe bring your head to the other side, loosen off through the neck, whatever feels good for you. And now we're going to bring the arms into a little bit more with the side. So we're still working through extension. You're going to have your arms lengthened by the side of your body. Nose is still lifted away from the mat, so the back of your neck stays lengthened. And just with your arms lengthened by your hips and your palms facing up to the ceiling, you should be feeling those muscles at the back of your arms and the back of your shoulders working a little bit more. Now, use the arms to lift your chest higher, and then lower the arms, allow your chest to lower. So we'll go inhale, exhale, lower. Let's go for about 3 more. So if you need to contact the mat with your hands and your arms at any point to take a rest, please do so. And on the next one, you're going to lift up and hold. Good. So with this one, don't worry about trying to get your breath to correspond with the movement. It can't because the movement's too quick. But just continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. You're going to pump the arms up and down, almost like you're a bird and you're trying to use the arms to help you take flight and lift off. Back of the neck stays lifted rather, chest remains lifted also. Keep pumping those arms and feel the back of the shoulders, back of the arm muscles working. Keep breathing as well. Make sure we're not holding the breath. And rest the hands down. Nicely done. Good. So take it into a quick shell stretch from there. So big toes touch, knees fall wide, and then your arms reach up the mat. Now, bring your head to rest down. Push with your hands into the mat And then feel like your bum comes a little bit closer onto your heels as a result. And then bring yourself up from there. A calf kneeling squat. So we're going to involve a little bit more work through the legs with this one as well. So untuck your toes this time and just come up into a kneeling position. You're going to fold at your hips and just send your bum back and go down about halfway to your heels, whatever feels like halfway to you. Please just come to rest fully on this one if it doesn't feel good at your knee. So know that that's an option. Good. So once you're in this position, you're going to bow forward so that your upper body is at a kind of 45-degree diagonal angle. And then you're going to raise your arms up to create that kind of scarecrow shape, that L shape with your arms, like we were doing lying down on the mat. Now from here, we're going to move through the shape. So this is our L shape, or our like W, if we're calling it a letter. And then you're going to extend the arms out into a Y, and then bend the elbows wide and back into that W. Extend the arms up, then come your scapula, the shoulder blades at the back of the body. And then as well as that mobility into those areas, which is great for us, especially if we spend loads of time on devices or at desks or at our computer at home or traveling. But also right about now, you should be feeling the thigh muscles, your bum muscles, the upper back, your arm muscles, all working hard. Let's go for about 3 more. Last one, extend the arms away, pause, hold this position. And then come all the way up from there, everyone. Really nice. Good, let's give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. And now we're going to finish off from a standing position today. So we're going to take it into a scooter. So we're going to go into a side-on position. And once we come up to standing, the scooter will look quite similar to what we were doing with the last exercise. So stand with your feet hip-width distance. You're going to bend your knees and fold your hips back. And then your upper body again. Now, I'd like you to shift your weight onto your left heel and press the middle of that heel into the mat. The base of the small toe and the base of your big toe presses down into the mat also. So we create a tripod of support. That should fire the foot up, and it should fire the thigh and the bum muscles on this side up a little bit more as well. Now, come on to the tiptoes of your right foot. So raise the heel. At this point, if you feel really unstable and if you topple over, all totally fine. But grab a hold of something, maybe like a chair, if you need it for a little bit more stability. So you're going to straighten the right leg out behind you. Tap the toes forward. Straighten the leg out behind you. Tap the toes. Good. 3 more. Working through the stability of that left foot. Working really into those big glute muscles around the left hip. Last one. Extend that right leg back. Keep the leg fully extended, pressing through the toes. Keep that strong bend at the left leg, especially through the hip and through the knee. And maybe see if you can, so that we're even more balanced on that single leg. And then come up to standing. Good. Shake the legs out ever so slightly. And then let's get you turned around to the other side. So don't feel like you need to turn around. I'm going to, so you can see the leg that's moving again. And then feet hip-width distance. Fold your hips back. Create that bow forward through the upper body. And then just shift the body weight more into that right foot. Press down through the middle of that right heel, the base of the big toe, the base of the small toe. So again, create that tripod of support. And then once you've got it, hands back on your hips, toes of that left foot pressing onto the mat with the knee and the leg bent to begin with. And again, if you feel really unstable, grab a hold of anything that's close at hand to help give you a little bit of assistance, like stabilizers if you're learning how to ride a bike. And then straighten that left leg back, tap the toes forward. Straighten that left leg back, tap the toes forward. Good. So the movement that we're doing here replicates what our body does through walking, but especially through running, because running is done either on one foot or both feet lifted. So it's 100% done where we're balancing and transferring our body weight forward quickly from one leg to the other. And one leg bends and one leg straight. So there's a wobble, totally fine. I've lost count, but we'll make this the last one. That leg goes back. Keep that front hip and knee bent. Keep the back leg straight as we can. Arms reach up in line with your ears. Maybe see if you can float that back foot off the mat as well. Hold this position. And then stand all the way back up from there, everyone. Nicely done. So, come down onto your knees. Tap your feet out slightly. And then all you're going to do just from there is just reach your arms forward and up. And you can interlock your fingers, push your palms up to the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Then reach over to one side. Getting a stretch down through that side of the body. Come back through the middle. Reach over to the other side. A couple more times, each direction. Come back through the center. Circle the arms around in front. Give yourself a clap. Nice work today, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Please comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. A little bit more challenging, definitely getting your heart rate up, and hopefully you'll feel like you've got lots of different areas in your body nicely switched on and working as well. So have a great rest of your week, guys. Any questions, I'll come back to them and maybe answer them if you want to pop them in the chat or on the YouTube channel. But if not, have a great rest of your week. Take care.